Recently, I have not been in a good place. I felt so overwhelmed by this world. I just think it's insane to see how crazy this world has gotten and how easily people are led astray by just the internet, false teachings. I feel like I'm a little bit almost like enlightened, right? I know that I can see others being misled by political figures, by convoluted fact, and by just downright falsehoods. But then, if that's the case, it just struck me one day. How do I know I'm not being misled? I'm out here trying to speak the word of God, and maybe I'm part of the problem. If nothing is true, then how do I know that what I believe is even true? To be clear, I've known and loved Jesus for a long time, but this shook me deeply for some reason. Man, I've spent a month or two just feeling distant. It pushed me from my faith, it pushed me from my reading, pushed me from prayer. It put me into a place of despair. I didn't feel like suicidal or anything like that because I'm just so blessed with my family, my kids, and my wife. But man, I felt discouraged, felt disconnected, depressed, and I feared that maybe I'm an accidental liar myself. I tried to talk to people about it, and it was hard to even express. It just came out as anger or cynicism or confused ramblings. I had a response for everything, and anytime someone told me, just open the book, it just made me mad. And yeah, I know I say that all the time. But as I continued to struggle, I found myself in my car one morning. I was trying to pray, which was not working. And I was really just talking to myself and just trying to understand what I was feeling. And in that moment, I had this small light bulb where I was like, man, I just wish that I had a single source of truth out there that I knew I could trust. That there was fact that I could believe. And a few moments later, driving super early in the morning, I passed this dark field. And out in that field is a small lit nativity, the little baby Jesus sitting in there with Mary and Joseph. I was like, okay, God, I hear you. You got to help me figure it out because I don't know how to get back. And man, I've been digging heavy into Lee Strobel's book, The Case for Christ, which is a great book that helps prove the Bible and its teachings. This has been really helpful for me. I'm a facts guy. I want details and information and logic, and that stuff matters to me. It drives my wife crazy, but that's how I learn. And I've also been in fellowship with a couple other men and some real families who have really powerful faith, and this has helped me as well. I want to be clear, it didn't fix me. I remain a broken man. I'm a work in progress. In hindsight, man, I can tell, this was spiritual warfare. Redeemed Legion is finally gaining some traction out here. We have an audience 21,000 people. And it's a fact that when you're trying to preach the gospel and you're trying to do good in the world, that you set yourself up for attack from evil. Satan doesn't want us to succeed. And I know this, but I was still surprised at just how easy it happened. Just evil, just darkness. It just gained a foothold in my life like a serpent. It just quietly and patiently slithered its way in, infiltrated, and then it took hold. And I'm still fighting for my life, guys. But I see the light. And it doesn't take a lot of light. And to be clear, I'm still figuring it out. But I do feel like I'm headed in the right direction again, finally. I finally feel inspired to make content again. I feel like I'm getting my positive outlook back and just passion for life again. And man, the reason I say all of this, first off, I am super uncomfortable sharing all this despite all the other things that we shared. But I want you to hear this. If this is in your FYP, it's there for a reason. Man, if you're feeling this way or some other kind of way, you need to ask for help. Be brave, be courageous, man. Ask for help. Seek a counselor, see a pastor, a trusted friend, seek a mentor, walk into a church, open a Bible. Remember, we all have access to God. We all have access to Jesus. We all have access to the Bible. We just have to say yes. And sometimes that is the hardest step. Say yes, open the book, dare to be different, and dare to be redeemed.